It's been a while since I've done a screen recording, and I'm going to do this one. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because part of this is going to use my phone. I have an application on my phone called Coinomi, and can't really show it to you that way, but so I use Coinomi in conjunction with, and this is key, I use it in conjunction with a barcode scanner. And the barcode scanner is smart enough to point me to Koinomi. If I try to use it directly with Koinomi, they don't like that because of the address structure I use. But as are all things in my life, this is sort of a hack. I could probably uh, come up with a different address scheme or use an application other than Koinomi. In fact, not probably, I definitely could. But this is what we've got going right now. So what I have is an application that I'm running on this server, and I'm running a Digibyte. So what you do is you can come to this address, ledger.church/YouTube. I don't have it secure yet, so if you don't feel comfortable with a site that says not secure, then don't visit, I guess. But what happens is we're going to create a YouTube link, and the YouTube link doesn't really exist in my site. It only exists uh, in the ledger, right? It exists in Digibyte. Now I can mirror it onto my site, but I don't have that piece done yet. And that piece is not nearly as important, not at all as important as it being uh, fully contained in the ledger. Now, of course, because it's a YouTube link, YouTube is involved. I mean, YouTube could uh, disappear. It could be blocked in your region. The link could go away. But for now, I think this is good. Also, there's really no way that somebody can come and do something like a terrorist, let's say, can't make a YouTube link using my service to promote terrorism. Why? Because they're credentialed through YouTube. YouTube would uh, stop that, right? So that's why people are hesitant to put stuff like this out here, because the cost of dealing with bad behavior on your part is not worth it. But so things are often constrained. Like you might see, um, uh, for example, in the world of Satoshi Vision, you might see something where you can draw a picture, right? So you can draw a dirty picture with with a little pen or something. That's all you can do. You can't upload an image. Now that by no means doesn't mean you can't upload an image to the currency Satoshi Vision. Just the person that's helping you is not going to let you do that through their service, right? It's all about credentialing. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So here's the video I've picked out to upload. Um, and this is from a movie, right? Brazil. So this is the final song on Brazil, and let's see. So we're gonna say the artist is. Let's move this over a little bit. Oh gosh, I always find that. I always find the computer tries to help me in ways that I don't really like. Okay, so there you go. The artist is Michael Kamen. The title is, and that should fit. You know, if you type something too long, then it might mess up. You can definitely mess this up if you really try hard enough. Uh, But so that's the title, that's the artist, and then the URL is right here. And the critical part of the URL is unfortunately hidden right now. It's this piece right there. So you paste it here, right? And again, this is what I'm kind of explaining to you here with this wonderful song is that's the critical piece of information, right? Artist title. There is another field that we're going to add in this, okay? So I'm going to submit, and I'm going to come back to the camera. So, okay, so now it shows me this QR code. And you could, uh, if you wanted to do this yourself, uh, actually, you'd have to do it before me because the QR code is only going to be valid um, one time. So, but what I do is I take my phone and I click on my barcode scanner. And so now, and sometimes you kind of have to close these applications and reopen them. At some point, somebody could create a single application that does all this. But for right now, you can just use things and hack them together. And that's much easier for me than having to rely on some development team to do things for me, or me being that development team and getting funding and all that stuff. So let's see. So I'm going to open up my barcode scanner and point it. So I'm going to point it over here at this barcode. Okay, and I don't probably didn't hear that beep, but you see now it's in my phone, and from the barcode scanner I click Open Browser. It understands that it's Digibyte, and now I am in Coinomi, my wallet, on my phone, and the codes for this, the keys, only I know. So nobody other than me knows this, right? Now, you will be able to see my public address that I use for this once this is done, right? So there's going to be a verifiable connection between me and this, and then this, and telling you about this song on YouTube, right? So let's just type in my password, and you don't have to have a password. It's easier to make videos sometimes if you don't, but in this case I do have a password on this one, and it says that it's sent. It's sent, and it's going to, and unfortunately I can't show you what's on my phone. I could do that with a Zoom meeting, but in this case I'm just not going to do that. So just imagine now the address is in gray right now on the phone, right? So it takes a little while, but not too long. Digibyte is pretty quick. In fact, and I can do these in parallel. I can do 2 or 3 of them at a time, or different people can do them at a time, right? The important point is that this number right here uniquely describes the transaction. It's like a baby hash. And don't please don't tell me that it's not good enough. It's more than good enough because it's mixed with an address, and this is only about things coming into my address on this server at once. Now it says funds received. And on my phone, actually, I can see that too, right? It shows the transaction is done on the phone and it's been confirmed, and there it goes, right? So now we have it here, and we have a YouTube link. I'm going to click on it, and there you go. I don't think you can hear it, but this is this is the link, right? So let's see what caused that to happen. See, there it is right there. And like I say, again, I can have a really cool Explorer on my website, but the point is not to bring you to the website. This is Web 3.0. So the point is that anybody that wants to can now take this information out of the Digibyte ledger, by looking at any of these. Like let's take a look, here, for instance, right? Oh, that's not very helpful. Let's just look over here. So these are all of the songs that I had sent before. I had 22 before. Now it should say 23. I'm going to reload it, and again, this is I use a series of hacks. I'm a hacker, so again, please don't tell me the wrongness of this. it's it's um, this is how it's possible to do things, and by seeing that it's possible to do things, then all the committees and the consortiums and all of the engineers that do things correctly can key off of this, right? But you can no longer say this is not possible, right? It's possible because I'm showing you that it's happening. So now we see 23 transactions, and there it is right there. See, you can read it. You can read it in the funny text. And look right here. That is that's the link. That's the link that we see right here, right? It's here. Let's change it to something else. Let's find something else here. This link. And so this says Pixies. Here comes your man, and then it has this link here in the op return field. The op return field can be very large in Satoshi Vision, but in Digibyte it's relatively small, but it's big enough to fit that in there. And see, there it is. It'll find it. This is all simply an issue with YouTube. So I'm going to cancel it. And that's it. That's it. There's a lot of variations of this. This works. I've proven that this can work on many different currencies. I've done this on Digibyte, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin itself. That Bitcoin, which costs a lot of money, by the way. This costs less than a penny here. It cost me $20 on Bitcoin. Ethereum. Now, I didn't do it in production Ethereum, and the way that I did it in Ethereum was different, as well as Tron. I've done this on Tron. Again, slightly different, but it's a variation of the same thing, and you can understand who I am. And that's what makes this important. That's the Web 3.0 part, right? That, if you look at this transaction here, you can see, let's see. So you can see the input, right? The input came from this other transaction, which is me on my phone. So, so while this transaction was created by my server, the input came and came from elsewhere, right? And you can trace it back. You can trace it back. Let's try to do that real quick. So yeah, see total input. So I charged myself. I paid myself for this 6 digibytes, and so that's the input, and then the output stayed on the server, and then that's the fee, which Digibyte is it's less than $1. It's probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 cents after having gone up 7,000% or something. So not that much, but it's a very small it's a very small fee, right? I charge you a bigger fee to do this, but it's not the same as gas. So, but you can understand who I am from this. You could send something right to my phone if you knew how to kind of find it, right? So the input again comes from that's where I sent it to. The input comes from the previous transaction, and right here, right? So on this transaction ID is me. So if we look at that transaction, let's look at that one real quick. You should be able um, to browse to it, but we'll do it this way. All right. So yeah, so that's the amount of digibytes I've got on my phone, uh, and so here's the input, and then there's the output. And this is the change that was returned to me. So you'll notice this transaction doesn't have any words in it. This was the first thing that I sent to the QR code. So this is me, guys. This is my phone on Digibyte. If you want to send me $1,000,000, there you go. Have at it. You can send it to that QR code right there, and understand that um, it's me, right? And because you just saw me do this, right? You saw me put the transaction. You saw the entire thing, and this is also um, yeah. So that's good enough. Hey. So thanks for watching this. Sorry if I ramble, if it took a while, but I think this is an important concept, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.